If your primary concern is keeping your planner pretty, it's just not going to work for you because life is not just pretty all the time. So we like to say, get a pretty planner, but make it messy. Get everything written out of your head and onto paper so that you can then make some decisions about what to do with it. Really, I think planning is honestly more of a time to stop and reflect on how are things going right now? How am I doing? How's my family doing? What do we need in this season? Does my schedule reflect what we need in this season?
Hello and welcome to the Simplified Organization Show. 15-minute conversations with real moms about managing our homes and family life cheerfully to the glory of God. We can actually enjoy housework and love being homemakers when we focus on truth and work with gratitude. I'm Mystie Winckler, homemaker, homeschool mom, and author of the book Simplified Organization, Learn to Love What Must Be Done. I write and podcast at Simply Convivial, and I run Convivial Circle, a community helping women to excel at homemaking and do life cheerfully. And today I have part 2 of my conversation with Kayse Pratt. Kayse serves Christian women as a writer and designer, creating home and life management resources that help women plan their days around what matters most. She designed the SOS Planner, helped over 400 women create custom home management plans, and works with hundreds of women each month inside her membership, teaching them how to plan their days around what matters most. When she's not designing printables or writing essays, you'll find Kayse homeschooling her kids or reading a cheesy novel with a giant cup of tea in hand. In part 1 of our conversation, we talked about common pitfalls and struggles with using planners as busy moms. And today we're going to talk more about what actually does work and how to use a planner with flexibility built in. If you've ever felt like planning was a waste of time, then this conversation is for you. Grab a basket of laundry to fold and we will dig in. So what is your favorite planner tip to share? Or how does your planner work?
Okay. Well, our planner works. It's a different planner than most. Okay. I'm just going to preface it with that. So our planner comes as a printable product, or you can use it digitally. And we offer everything's included in one. But right now we have 21 different layouts that you can choose from. So I say choose from, but you get all of them. You just choose, which
what
one
you're
do I
going to
want
print.
this week? Yeah. So that has been, like I said, such a game changer because when I start, and everybody does, right? I love planning. I literally have a planning business and I get tired of using my planner. But when I do, that's a sign to me that okay, this layout isn't working for my life anymore. I'm not using it because it's not helping me. So honestly, my best planning tip is that your planner is a tool. It's a tool that is made to be used. It's not a work of art. You don't have to decorate it with stickers and highlighters. I mean, you can if that's your thing. That is not my thing. I want women to get messy in their planners. The biggest benefit of using a planner is the ability to get everything out of your head and onto paper so you can see it, you can organize it, you can figure out what needs to stay and what can go. Sometimes I will plan out my whole week and realize this does not work. And then I will print out another layout and put it in a different way because I needed to get it out of my head and see it on paper before I could realize, oh, well, there's my problem. I've got 16 things on Saturday. That's probably a bad idea. Or, I have this birthday coming up. That's what was in the back of my mind. I need to get a birthday present for that. But if your primary concern, which I hear this a lot, like, I don't want to write in my planner. It's so pretty. No, we're not doing that. If your primary concern is keeping your planner pretty, it's just not going to work for you because life is not just pretty all the time. So we like to say, get a pretty planner, but make it messy. Get everything written out of your head and onto paper so that you can then make some decisions about what to do with it. Really, I think planning is honestly more of a time to stop and reflect on how are things going right now? How am I doing? How's my family doing? What do we need in this season? Does my schedule reflect what we need in this season? And then be able to make some decisions based on that. Too often we just like run into the next week with our hair on fire, right? Like we don't stop and take the time to kind of look around and see what's going on. We just are like, I've got a lot of stuff to do. I have to get going.
Yeah.
And planning gives us that reflection point to be able to stop and say, okay, I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to figure out what is the most important and be able to like tweak the plan for next week so that it reflects what is most important. And the only way I think that we can do that is by getting it down on paper and getting messy. So honestly, that is my best planning tip is just don't be afraid to write on your planner, no matter how pretty it is. It is literally a tool for you. It's not ever going to be, in a museum. No one on Instagram needs to see what the inside of your planner looks like. It's fine. It's fine.
It's so true. And it really does just help you think through things when you put it on paper and start
Yes.
seeing like different things in relation to one another. And so I love that idea of even being able to get started and then realize and reorient and print off a whole new set and just have it be flexible like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what we're going for is flexibility. I mean, I think that's a huge need for all women today is just the ability to be able to go with the flow a little bit better, have a little more margin so that we're not so stressed out all the time and overwhelmed by everything. That flexibility is really key so that we can change direction when we need to, so that we can stop for a minute and do the reflection before, running into the next week with no no real direction.
Yeah, and I think writing it down that way does help you figure out your priorities. And
Yeah,
then when you know those priorities, you're able to calm down, like you're saying, and not just be moved forward only by stress and overwhelm because you have a filter and you have a set of priorities. So, you know, you can be more comfortable taking that pause.
exactly. We actually have we have that built right into our planner with we have a quarterly, we call it our reflect and refresh. And so we do that quarterly where we have like a list of questions to answer that helps get you from overwhelmed to focused on what your priority is. We do it quarterly and we do it monthly, like a mini one every month. And that really helps people figure out what their priority is just by going through some questions, just basic things, what's going well, what's not going well, what do I want to carry with me into the next month, what do I need to leave behind? Just that time to stop and think is really key. And I have to have it built into the planner, otherwise I'm gonna forget to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to take that time to stop and think when there is paper in front of you
Yeah.
to like reflect on and to like be that trigger for like, okay, no, this is the time where we're going to think about things.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And a lot of us, if you're a planner, you're often like a rule follower or, you like to check off all the boxes, right? And so if
Mhm.
it's already in your planner, you're not going to skip it. You're going to do it. And that really helps just having it right in front of your face.
Yes. Well, where can people find more information about your planner and your community and the different resources that you have, Casey?
Sure. Everything is on our website, which is anchored-women.com. And the planner is the same link. It's anchored-women.com/planner. We are on Instagram at Anchored Women, but I'll be real honest, like I take a lot of breaks from Instagram. So Everything if you sign up for our email list, you get all of the things, and we also have a community off of social media on Mighty Networks where it's totally free and all of our members just hang out, we encourage each other, we talk to one another, we share planning tips and talk about what's going on a almost daily basis, really. So, that's a fun place to be too, away from social media.
Nice. And I will put all those links in the show notes. So thank you so much, Casey. This was very encouraging.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was super fun to talk to you.